Hello, this is Megha Pandre, and today we will continue with the second part of this chapter called Nationalism in India. Now, here we will continue with the establishment of the Indian National Congress. Now, in this part, we will cover why and how the Indian National Congress came into existence and of whose effort. By the time Sir AOU retired as a British officer, he noticed one thing. What did he notice? That the British Empire was not as secure as it appeared to be. He believed that if the dissatisfaction among the people of India was not taken care of, there were chances of reoccurrence of revolt similar to the one of 1857 CE. People are not satisfied with the ruling of the British rule, then there will be number of incidents which will occur like that of revolt of 1857. In order to keep the general dissatisfaction at bay, he thought of establishing a political organization. So he had a thought of to have to develop this Indian National Congress. Viceroy Lord Muffin agreed. Viceroy Lord Dufferin agreed to his ideas and supported him. With the efforts of Allen Octavian Hume, Indian National Congress was established in December 1885. The first session of the Indian National Congress was held on 28th of December 1885 at Gokul Das Tejpal Sanskrit School of Mumbai with Vyomesh Chandra Banerjee as the president. And of when this organization was developed, Indian National Congress, Vyomesh Chandra Banerjee was the president, and 72 representatives from different regions of India were present in this conference. The main leaders present in the conference was Dadabhai Navroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Firoz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tayyabji, Kirti Telang, Dinshaw, Vacha, etc. Many problems related to the nations were discussed there. Second session of Indian National Congress was held at Kolkata. During that time, the president was Dadabhai Navroji in year 1886 and number of members were about 436. The third session which took place, the place was Chennai and the president at that time was Badruddin Tayyabji in the year 1887 with the total number of members of about 607. With the Indian National Congress during the time period of 1885 to 1905 in the initial stage. The initial activities of the Indian National Congress were moderate and abide by the Constitution. Whatever the work, the activities the Indian National Congress took was not extreme and always according to the Constitution. It included putting up demand for more political rights. There were a number of things where they asked for from the British government. Was one of them was political right, economic and social growth, and development of education. So these are the demands were being made by these by the organization in order to for these approval, like political and economical and social rights, among other demand inclusion of more Indians in the government services, and also to give encouragement in the government services, reduction of expenditure on military and other administrative departments, debt relief to farmers, revival of cottage industries, etc. were included. So these are the number of demands were being made by the organization Indian National Congress to the British government. The British government turned down these demands and the British government didn't approve any of these demands. However, these demands laid down a strong foundation for the future struggle. So this is how the dissatisfaction of the people increased as their demands were turned down by the Britishers. The Indian National Congress passed many resolutions such as the expansion of legislative councils and to keep at least 50% elected representative in it at the central and the regional level, because during those days not a single representatives were Indians, all were Britishers. For that reason, Indian National Congress asked to have at least 50% elected representative at the central as well as in the regional level. The parliament should be more answerable and transparent to the regional assemblies. Due to the demand of the Indian National Congress, the British government granted more freedom to the press and granted more personal liberty and freedom of speech to the people of India. Only few were being granted by the British government. The Indian National Congress inspired many educated youth and fostered nationalism in the educated class. As a result, many capable and potential leaders joined this organization. We will continue with the policy of divide and rule. What is divide and rule? The initial support by the British government to the Indian National Congress soon turned into hostility. Hostility means there was a continuous conflict because the main intention of the British government to start with this Indian National Congress. The main intention to start the Indian National Congress because the people were not having satisfaction with the British rule. So, in order to fulfill those needs, Indian National Congress were being set up. But soon the Indian National Congress soon turned out to be a hostile. There was conflict of opinions between these two organizations. One was the Indian National Congress and the other was the British rulers. The British government officials used to attend the sessions of the Indian National Congress, but later on the government banned the practices. Governor General Lord Curzon took certain steps against the interest of the national integrity and ignored the opinions of the Indians. So this is how the opinions of the Indians were not given much importance, and he partitioned Bengal in 1905 CE as a part of his policy of divide and rule. Now we will continue with the partition of Bengal in 1905. Bengal was the biggest province of the British India. From the map itself, you can easily make out how big it was. And the whole of India was divided into provinces during the time of British rule. This part was considered as the Bombay province, this part as Madras province, and this part as the Bengal province. So, how big the Bengal province was. It included certain parts of Bihar and Orissa with a population more than 7 crores 80 lakh. It was necessary to divide Bengal province since the administration of such big province was becoming difficult, and whole of this province was, from the map itself you can easily make out the province was very big. So in administration Britishers found it very difficult. Instead of removing the parts of Bihar and Orissa, East Bengal with a majority of Muslim population was separated from it. So here it was divided into two parts. The place which was having maximum numbers of Muslims was divided as East province and the Western province. Bengal was the most active province in nationalist activities at that time. The main intention of Lord Curzon was to promote communal differences between Hindu and Muslim, because in this part maximum Muslims used to live here and in this part Hindus. Thus, to weaken the momentum of political awakening among the people, national leaders and common people understood the intention behind the partition and opposed it intensively. So here the people also opposed the partition of Bengal. We will talk about Bang Bang movement against the partition of Bengal. Now here the intention of the Britishers was to divide the whole of the province into two parts, east and the western part. But so here the Bang Bang movement started, a movement against the partition of Bengal. People opposed this effort to break the unity and integrity of Bengal by rallies, demonstrations, and by distributing pamphlets. Vande Mataram song from the novel of Anand Math written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay became the popular slogans during this protest. The nation was swept by a strong wave of nationalism. People of Bengal observed the day of the implementation of the partition as the mourning day. So here the day was also observed as the mourning day. Mourning day means a day when somebody have died in our house. So that is called mourning day. People went on strike all over the region. As per the suggestion of Rabindranath Tagore, that day was also celebrated as the Day of Unity. Why? Because the Britishers couldn't implement this partition of Bengal because of the movement which took place in whole of Bengal. Now we will talk about the Swadeshi movement. It was decided to intensify the movement against the partition of Bengal, Bang Bang movement, and expand its base. The three main characteristics of this movement were, there were three main characteristics of these movements, Swadeshi movement. First one, to trade and use Swadeshi goods only, to boycott imported goods, to acquire national education and boycott English education. More importance should be given to the regional language rather than the English education. To achieve these goals, a committee was formed under the leadership of renowned members of the Indian National Congress like Surendranath Banerjee, Bipin Chandrapal, Arvind Ghosh, etc. They urged the Indians to boycott foreign goods and clothes and use Swadeshi goods. Through articles in newspapers and procession, public meeting, and folk song, people were made to understand the importance of using Swadeshi goods. So they started encouraging the people. They started spreading the knowledge of using only Swadeshi goods. Factories were started to produce Swadeshi goods. The import of goods like textiles, salt, shoes, sugar, cigarettes, tobacco, etc. from England decreased drastically, and the sale of the Indian commodities and textile increased. The Swadeshi movement spread in other parts of the India too. So this is how the whole of the Swadeshi movement started, and it also got an impetus. So here I end up with the second part of this video. Till then, goodbye.